sincere apologies for the delayed start of this game. The game between Revocare Solutions and George Steuart said, as we had a lot of rain last night and also early this morning, heavy drizzle, and of course it put paid to the chances of on-schedule start at 9:45 in the morning. And a lot of work has been done on the ground staff and also the teams have been busy in getting the grounds in shape for this game to get underway. So the match will be now 23 overs per side, because of the delayed start. We lost 4 hours and 40 minutes of play so far. And of course, we're getting a game in. That's the most important thing for these two teams. To talk about the game and the 23 overs per side, let's go out to the middle and join the two captains and the match referee for the toss.
Right, so it's a late toss here at Royal College grounds, and it's going to be a 23-over game. So it's all set for the coin toss. I got here with me the match referee for today's game, and of course the two captains, the captain of George Steuart Health and Revocare Solutions. So I believe the George Steuart captain has the coin, and he will give it a toss. Heads is a call. So Revocare Solutions won the toss. What's it going to be?
We are going to bowl first. We'll plan to put them around 125 mark, and it would be a chaseable target for us.
Currently standing at number 3 in the points table. So how's the preparation of the team?
Yeah, we'll try to win this game, and we'll try to get second in this group.
Thank you and good luck. George Steuart Health captain. What's it going to be? Going to bat first? How much of a target would you think would be better on these conditions?
I mean, the ground is of course wet, so we'll try to get the maximum as we can, because I know the outfield is going to be slow, but we'll try to get the maximum as possible.
And at the same time, currently standing at number 2 in the points table, how crucial is this game against Revocare Solutions? At the same time, how's the mentality of the team?
I mean, actually, this is an important game for us. This is our second game. We have 2 remaining games. We are going to take match by match. We'll see how it goes.
Thank you and good luck. Right, so that's the news from the centre. So Revocare Solutions, they've won the toss and they've elected to bowl first.
Right, thank you so much. And there we are. So the toss completed, and Revocare Solutions win the toss and decide to bowl first. No surprise about that, because our late start, 23 overs per side. And of course, both sides will be out to prove a point and try and win this game. Right, let's take a look at the team card. There's the George Steuart's team card as well. Sachin Dalpadadu along with Tamat Chaturya and Chanul Atukorala along with Danushka Madhushka along with Kasun Rodrigo. And Rishin Adishtan along with Veer Surya. Then we have Lalam Peruma along with Shalin, and also making up the team is Vikram Singha. Revocare Solutions, well led by Jaya Kodi. They've got Ashen Joseph along with Damit Kapugodu. And then Tilakaratna, Vanya Rachi in the side. And there's Ramzeen Ramlan along with Rajendra. And Ruvanara, Vishara Fernando, and Vidushan making up the 10, with the 11th man being Sadakalum in the side. So those are the two teams for this 23 overs per side game. So we talked to you about what happened last night and this morning. Heavy rains in Colombo put paid to the chances of on-time start. Scheduled start was 9:45 in the morning, but we're getting going at 2:15 or 2:20 in the afternoon here, Sri Lankan time, because of the weather conditions, and we had a lot of rain. Puddles of water on the outfield as well. A lot of work has been done to get this ground under condition. Right, so it's 2 umpires in the middle, and we're waiting now for Revocare Solutions, the fielding side. They won the toss, and they like to field first. So George Steuart's Health will be batting first, and 23 overs per side. It's going to be an interesting contest. And looking at what could go on, well, 3 bowlers are allowed 5 overs each. 2 bowlers allowed 4 overs each. The first 5 overs will be on the power play. And, of course, that's the revised conditions in this game because of a shortened game of 23 overs per side. So all to play for. We'll see some big hitting, I suppose, coming up as well. And we're seeing the 2 seams taking the field. So there we are. The Revocare Solutions team along with the George Steuart's Health batsman also walking into the middle. And no contest will be so easy when you play for 23 overs per side. Right, so all to play for. conditions in Colombo pretty good at the moment. There's no great threat of rain at the moment. It's not overcast, but there's no great sunshine over the grounds. We did see some sunshine earlier on, but that's disappeared behind some white clouds at the moment. And of course, the ground staff also busy getting some sawdust into some of those grey areas that had a lot of water this morning, and to make sure that it's not slippery for any of the players. So a lot of work being going on for a long time, in fact, as the drizzle lasted quite a few hours, in fact, and the covers couldn't come off. In fact, the pitch was covered this morning, or from last night, and that was pretty good because it was pretty safe. There we can see the pitch itself. They're using the matting wickets in these games, and this is the Mercantile Cricket Association D Division 50 overs league tournament for 2025, and more sawdust been thrown into those danger areas on the outfield as well. So field being set, we're going to see the first over coming up, and George Stewart's health batting first, put into bat in fact by Revocare Solutions. So a lot more sawdust coming out as well. So to make sure that nobody slips and falls and has an injury, that is one of the biggest problems that teams have. And of course, both captains, they were pretty keen to get this match underway, even this morning, even though the rains were coming down and it was very soggy and wet outfield, but they were pretty keen to get this match underway. So there we are, as work going on in the middle. We're waiting for the first ball to be bowled, or the first over to be bowled, as the ground staff have got their work cut out, getting the sawdust in those areas as well. And of course, it's going to be an interesting contest of 23 overs per side. So 2:25 is the starting time, and just about 2 minutes past that because the ground staff were busy getting the sawdust out. And of course, 23 overs per side, better than nothing at all. That's what we think. And I think both sides were very keen to get this contest on the way. Right, so looking at the field being set, they got a slip in place. A man at backward point got a sweeper cover, extra cover. A mid-off on the offside, on the onside, a short fine leg, along with a mid-wicket and a deep mid-on. That's the onside field. The left-hander on strike. The first ball coming up and being bowled from the far end of the grounds, in fact. And here we are, the first ball of the innings coming up. Pulled away on the onside. That's a good shot. That's running down to the boundary. That's going to be 4. There's no fielder there, even though the outfield is pretty sluggish. It had enough legs to find the boundary. And, well, George Stewart's health on their way at the moment. 4 for no wicket after the first ball. A very short delivery. And Shalin Demel made full use of that and hit it away through that mid-wicket region for 4. So Venkat Rajendran is the bowler, bowling that first over. Rishi Adhistan at the non-strikers end. And even though the outfield is pretty sluggish, the ball travels pretty quickly on the outfield to reach the boundary. Second ball of the first over coming up. Played defensive forward. Single being taken. That's good running. Putting the pressure on the fielders as well. Always important in a shortened form of game. That's 23 overs per side to try and pick up runs after every single delivery. So takes the George Stewart's total on to 5 for no wicket. And Demel has done all the scoring. He's on 5. He's faced 2 balls. Brings Rishi Adhistan to take strike for the first time. And Venkat Rajendran has bowled 2 balls. None for 5 his figures. We got a right hand on strike at the moment. So you got that slip in place along with the man at point. Extra cover, short extra cover, and a deep mid-off on the offside. On the onside, he's got that short fine leg. Thick edge down to third man. Picked up inside the boundary, but they'll come back for 2. We haven't seen that third man field, in fact. But we know there's a third man field as well. So 2 more runs to the total. Up to 7 for no wicket. George Stewart's health. Rishi Adhistan is off the mark with 2 as well. So important. Rishi Adhistan has played 51 matches. He's got 108 50s. So he's no mean mug with the bat. A good average, 29.55. Played defensively out on the offside. This time there's no run. A dot ball. So George Stewart's health put into batter by Revocare Solutions. Revocare Solutions is one of the newer teams to play in the mercantile cricket, but it really augurs well that a lot of these teams are coming into battle for honours. So Venkat Rajendran, 22 matches. He's picked up 3 wickets twice. Best figures 4 for 44. Well played. Misfield at mid-off. Allows the batsman to cross for a single. Now that's the problem. You can't afford to misfield. You can't afford to give those extra runs away. And that's what really happens. So takes the George Steuart total to 8 for no wicket after 5 deliveries. Adishtan moves on to 3, brings Shalin Dimel on 5 to take strike. The last ball, the over coming up, the first over. Game reduced to 23 overs per side. Now they got a man coming down towards the deep mid wicket. But the first ball went for the boundary down in that area. Played defensively. Bowler fields on his follow through. Ends the over. 1 over completed. And George Steuart 8 for no wicket. Dimel on 5 and Adishtan is on 3. And Venkat Rajendra 1 over for 8 runs. So this is where these Revocare Solutions, they'll have to really grind things out to try and stop the batsman from scoring freely. And for all those watching our live telecast of all the action from the Royal College grounds in Colombo, I'd like to remind you that this ground is also one of the 7 grounds in this area, located in the heart of Colombo 7 area. You've got the Royal College grounds, you've got the campus grounds next to it, then the Bloomfield grounds on the other side of the road. Moving further down, the Thurston grounds, then the NCC grounds, CCC grounds, and of course SSA grounds, and then DSNI College grounds and MCA grounds. So many grounds in this area. Rishi Adishtan, 51 matches, 108 50s under his belt. And Danushka Tilakaratne to bowl his first over, the second of the innings. So spin straight away. Nicely turned away on the onside, down to deep mid wicket for a single. So since this innings is just 23 overs, only 1 white ball being used. Normally a 50 over game, you use 2 white balls under the 33rd over. And from the 34th, they use 1 ball. But in this game, because the innings is so short, only 1 white ball. So Tilakaratne, 126 matches, a lot of experience under his belt. And best bowling figures, 5 for 19. The Dimel on strike. Brings him forward, pushes out down the track. The bowler fields on his follow through. This is what it's all about, to try and keep the batsmen quiet, to try and pick up wickets if they can. So you got a slip in place with the short third man. Nicely worked on the onside, down to deep mid wicket. Only a single this time. So takes Dimel down to 6 of 5 balls, brings Adishtan to take strike. He's on 4. And George Steuart held 10 for no wicket after 1.3 overs. Played a miss outside the line of off stump. That's well bowled. Try and keep the batsman guessing, try and bowl dot balls. That's what the equation is all about. Played rubbishly past the bowler. The ball traveling very quickly towards that deep mid-off, so there's no chance of a run. The batsman don't attempt the single. So fairly tight over from Tilakaratne, just 2 runs of 5 balls so far. There we are, ends the over. So Tilakarata completes his first over, none for two, his figures 2 overs completed. George Stewart's health are 10 for no wicket after 2 overs, a run rate of 5 and over. So the field crosses over for a new over to start up. This will be the third over of the innings. We're just joining our live telecast. We say welcome to you, and we are welcome with the news that late start here at the Royal College grounds in this game, and only 23 overs per side because the rains last night and early this morning. The ground was waterlogged, in fact, this morning, but the ground staff and the teams did extremely well to clear the water off, to have a start even at 2:25 in the afternoon Sri Lankan time. So Damit Kapagoda, a change in the bowling from the far end of the grounds. He'll be bowling to Shalin Dimel, the left-hander. He's on 6 of 5 balls, making sure the field is well set. So the slip disappears at the moment. They got a short third man, a backward point, a sweeper cover, extra cover, along with the deep mid-off on the offside. On the onside, they got that short fine leg, a mid-wicket, along with a long on. So side screen being moved at the far end. Perhaps the batsman wants side screen moved. It's not going to be easy to move that structure. So more of the fielders joining in and try and push that side screen. There's Kapagoda's statistics. Played 12 matches, 4 for 39, his best figures. Economy rate is 3.55. So a lot more fielders join the fun, in fact, at the far end, trying to move that side screen. That's going to be a tough ask to move it. I think it must be just tied down the ground at that moment. It's got some wheels there, but they give up at the moment. So there we are, that's it. So Kapagoda to operate as the fielders come back to their positions as well. So man coming to leg slip. So there's a leg slip, a short third man, or short fine leg, the sweeper cover. Nice played. Kapagoda, another spinner. Nicely driven by Shalin Dimel, but can't beat the fielder at deep mid-off. He's got to pick the gaps. That's the most important thing, to pick up runs. The bowler misses his step. So he goes back. He'll have to re-bowl that. George Stewart's held 10 for no wicket after 2.1 overs. Flighted and driven this time on the offside, straight towards that deep mid-off field. The batsman crossed the one. That's well run, putting the pressure on the fielder. The return came into the wicket keeper, but the batsman was certainly home. They'll need to pick up these runs. They'll need to really put pressure on the fielding side to pick up singles. So takes the George Stewart's health, a total on to 11 for no wickets. Takes the Dimel on to 7. Brings Rishi Adishtan to take strike. He's on 4. The right-hander. More adjustments to the field for the right-hander. The short third man being moved to a backward point. Got the extra cover. The mid-off, deep mid-off. Turn around the corner, but straight to short fine leg. They're looking for one, but the ball traveled quickly down to that short fine leg, so they changed their mind. Didn't go for a single. 11 for no wicket, George Stewart's health. We're in the third over. Digs it out this time is Adishtan. That's well bowled by Kapagoda in the block hole. On the leg stump, he was trying to work it on the onside, In the end, he had to dig it out. Turned around the corner this time. Short fine leg. Has a lot of work to do to run around to his right to do the fielding. The batsmen come back for 2. So 2 runs taken and wide called in the meantime. So it's extra run. 3 runs in fact the total with the wide call. Extra runs always important. We'll look at that. There we go down the leg side, the wide. Defensive this time from Adishtan. So Damit Kapagoda has bowled 5 balls. It's considered 4 runs with the wide. Last ball, the over coming up. Flicked away. You don't feel that's the end of the over. A dot ball to end the over. So 3 overs completed. And George Steuart held 14 for no wicket after 3 overs. With Adishtan on 4 and Dimel on 7. Damit Kapagoda has bowled 1 over for 4 runs. Current run rate 4.67. Once again, a reminder, this match 23 overs per side because the late start due to rains. So we got 20 overs left in this innings. 3 overs are completed already. So Tilakaratne to bowl his second over, none for 2 his figures. And to recap how the overs will be distributed, 3 bowlers can bowl 5 overs, 2 can bowl 4. First 5 overs are the power play. Down the track, lofted. That's a lovely shot. That's a great shot indeed. Maximum to Shalin Dimel. Good use of the feet. Sailed over that long off boundary for 6. Look at that. Through the line, no doubt about that. And he cleared that boundary so comfortably in the end. So takes Dimel on to 13, on to double figures, twin. And the George Steuart held total to 20 for no wicket after 3.1 overs. So Tilakaratne will have to redo his strategy. Hit for a 6 for the very first ball of his second over. Cut down towards short third man. Easy single being taken by the batsman. Takes Dimel on to 14. Total up to 21 for no wicket. George Steuart's health. Sun beaming down the grounds here at Royal College in Colombo. This is a school ground. We must tell you that. But one of the principal schools in Sri Lanka. Quicker one from Tilakaratne. Adishtan just playing it down the track for the bowler to field. So 7 of the overs so far in this Tilakaratne over. This time it's played nicely on the offside towards sweeper for a single. So takes Rishi Adishtan on to 5. Brings Shalin Dimel on strike again on 14. It's 22 for no wicket, George Steuart's health. And 1 ball left in the 4th over. On the back foot played down towards the bowler, end of the over. So another over completed. 4 completed. George Steuart's health 22 for no wicket. Shalin Dimel is on 14. Rishi Adishtan is on 5. Danishka Tilakaratne, 2 overs, none for 10. Current run rate 5.50. So field crosses over for a new over. Damit Kapagoda will continue. Bowled 1 over, none for 4 his figures. Rishi Adhishan is on strike, he's on 5, the right-hander. Played defensively down the track. Starts a dot ball is Damita Kapagoda. Playing a miss outside the line of off stump this time. Going for a big drive, booming drive, but a quicker one from Kapagoda. Beats the batsman. Tucked around the corner towards that mid-wicket position. Plenty of time to cross the 1. Takes Adhishan on to 6. George Stewart's help on the 23 for no wicket. We are in the 5th over, 4.3 overs completed. Run rate 5.11 at the moment. They'll want to improve on that run rate to get it to about perhaps over 7 runs and over. Truncated innings, 23 overs per side. So we've got Shalin Dimel, who's on strike. He's on 14 of 10 balls. Nicely played towards the backward point. Could be a run out. Not quick enough to return to wicket keeper. So they complete that single. Rishi Adhishan made his ground. The possibility of a run out was there if the return came in a bit quicker. That's the shot being played by the left-hander. The return not so quick. Shalin Dimel, he's on 15 non-strikers in. Again, off the back foot played straight towards that mid-off fielder. There's no chance of a run. So one more left in the 5th over. 24 for no wicket. George Stewart's health. After 4.5 overs, Damit Kapagoda into his 2nd over. Tucked around on the onside, straight to mid-wicket. Dot ball to end the over. 5 completed. George Stewart's 24 for no wicket. Rishi Adhishan is on 6. Shalin Dimel on 15. And Damit Kapagoda, none for 6 from 2 overs.
Shalin Dimel and Rishi Adhishan, 15 and 6 respectively for the two batters. Are going on nicely. 5 overs, 24 runs without loss. We've seen some dominating shots, especially from Shalin Dimel. 1, 4 and a 6 so far in this brief knock from Shalin Dimel. Still the early days. It's a 23 over game. So we could expect Shalin Dimel and Rishi Adhishan to go after the bowling. But it's all about setting up a good platform for the rest of the batters to come in and to play their natural game. So these two batters are doing that right thing. They're taking their time, yes, but they're setting a good platform. Here's Danushka Tilakaratne to bowl his 3rd over. So Revocare Solutions, let me tell you, they have a good array of faster bowlers, but right now they're going with their spinners. The conditions a bit slow, and at the same time they're playing automatic conditions, so obviously the spinners might get some purchase off the conditions. So I think that's the thought process behind going with the spinners right from the start. Nicely bowled, good pace. I think the batter was beaten off the pace that time. As much as it was a good line and length out just outside the off stump, it was the pace in which Danushka bowled.
These two batters have certainly shown some good maturity and patience, especially right from the start. You know, you tend to go after the bowling. Whenever you see a spinner, especially in the power play, just like that, they're playing across the line of the delivery. Shalin Mel being proactive a bit. Shalin Mel that time. Danushka Tilakaratne once again bowling in a flatter trajectory. Yeah, the impact outside the off stump clearly that time. A good decision from the umpire. So far, this is turning out to be a good over from Danushka. He bowled well for his 3 overs, in 2.5 to be exact. Have given away only 13 runs, bowling in the power play. That's the end of the over. Just 3 runs coming out from that over. 27 runs on the board at the end of over number 6. Dalit Kapagada to continue. Another tidy couple of overs to start off with, just 6 runs off the first 2. Coming down the track, looking for the second run. Turned down at the last moment from Shalin Mel that time. He moves into 18. He's being the more proactive one out of these two. Rishi Adishtan obviously coming in as the opener, 7 of 22 deliveries. Oh, just on the bounce. Nicely tossed up on the offside from Damit Kapagada. He knows that Rishi Adishtan is feeling a bit stuck out there in the middle. 7 of 23. He's very eager to get off the mark and try to get to the other end to break the shackles. And shots like that will definitely help to boost the confidence, and that will run away for a boundary. Is that the shot that he was waiting to reclaim his confidence? He was on 7 of 23, but that reverse sweep will definitely boost the confidence of the batter. He moves into double figures. That must have felt really good for Rishi Adishtan, let me tell you. As a batter, you feel stuck and you pull off a reverse sweep and it goes all the way for a boundary. Cannot ask for anything better than that. Touch too short this time from Damit. Easily put away from Rishi Adishtan. And now, see, that's just one boundary can definitely boost up the confidence of a batter. It's just the mindset, isn't it? Shalin Mel obviously going well at 18. And now Rishi Adishtan slowly but steadily regaining his confidence. Single taken once again, tossed up on the offside, enticing the batter to drive that ball on the offside. Once again, playing the field well, these two batters, Shalin Demel and Rishi Adishna. That's the end of the over as well. 7 overs done, 35 for none. Projected score at this stage stands at 115. Venkat Rajendran picked up 4 wickets in their previous game at Colombo University grounds against Yokohama. So he's in a good form. Has a nice silky action, runs in hard, has good pace. They bowled extremely well at University grounds in Colombo. Not very far from here, and would try to sort of imitate that same performance against George Steuart Health as well. He's been very consistent, even in the previous match, bowling it wide outside the off stump, and at the same time making sure that he's not being predictable for a batter. And I think that's what sort of set him apart in that game against Yokohama. Venkat Rajendran. He kept his lines tidy outside the off stump. Didn't really give any chance for the batters to free their arms. But George Steuart Health, they're at number 2 in the points table, a much tougher opposition. There we go, worked away towards a gap on the onside, will be just a single. It's a crucial match between these two sides. George Steuart Health currently stands at number 2 in that points table, and Revocare Solutions at number 3. So Revocare, this is their 3rd game in this tournament, and for George Steuart, this is their 2nd game. They won their first game, George Steuart, and Revocare Solutions. They played 2 coming into this match, lost 1, won 1. So to stay in contention for that second round, the top 3 teams from each group will get into that second round. So it's important that these two teams stay in contention. Aban's obviously at number 1 in the points table. And then comes George Steuart and then Revocare Solutions. So it's a tight battle going on who's going to get into that second place or maybe the first place. Nicely bowled, tight outside the off stump. Once again, not allowing Shalin Demel to free his arms. He's keeping it tight outside the off stump. A single to finish things off. An economical over from Venkat Rajendran. Just 4 runs coming off from it. 8 done. 39 without a loss. The weather has improved drastically here in Colombo. It was pouring in right from the morning, and it started at about 6:37 a.m. in the morning, and it just went on and on and on. Oh, missed opportunity there. Good stop from the short third man fielder. Danushka Tilakaratne saw the batter coming down the track and adjusted his line, but couldn't get the full credit to that. Rishi Adishtan. He's down one strike. 40 runs on the board for George Steuart. Slowly but steadily, they're building something. They have a plan, and these two batters seems to be obliging to that plan, sticking with that plan quite nicely. Not showing any real intentions of being aggressive all the time. Whenever there's an opportunity, they would go after that. But other than that, they're happy to take those ones and twos. Didn't really connect it properly that time. Rishi Adishtan's. You look at the way he's batting. He's on 16 of 31. He seems to be struggling a bit with his confidence. Even if you saw that last delivery from Danushka Tilakaratne that was short and wide outside the off stump, he'd have just played it much more squarer onto the boundary line, but ended up playing it straight towards the fielder. Now this time it goes high up in there. There is a fielder. And he takes it quite comfortably. So that's the wicket that they've been looking for. Shalinder Bell. He was feeling that pressure. He felt that a big shot was required. The dot balls were accumulating. The boundaries were dried off. So Shalinder Bell tried to break the shackles, tried to go after the bowling. Coming down the track, but only to be taken down in the deep. A good catch from the fielder made it look very, very simple. So Shalinder Bell departs for 22 and Danushka Tilakaratne with the breakthrough. An important breakthrough, this one. The opening partnership broken. 41 runs between Rishi Adishtan and Shalinder Bell. Sachin Dalpadatu, 51 matches, 1,136 runs with a higher score of 88. The captain walks out to the middle. Here's Danushka. A bit of a fumble there. Now this was the wicket coming down the track. Shalinder Bell straight away knew that he didn't really get the hang of that one. Couldn't really get under the ball properly. He came down the track, but he couldn't get to the pitch of the delivery. And that's the end of the over as well. 9 done, 42 for 1. Right, so here's Venkat Rajendran to bowl his third over. Once again, very tight, right on the off stump. Well, it's the way in which Venkat Rajendran is bowling. Even in his previous over, gave away only 4 runs. And now, just keeping it very tight and not much options presented to the batters as well. He's bowling it tight just outside the off stump. So there's nothing much the batters could do unless they improvise a bit, unless they become a bit cheeky, which I don't think at this stage is what George Steuart is looking for, because they just lost a wicket and just 43 runs in the first 9 overs. They need to settle down a bit first. They need to make sure that they're getting those runs quickly. The projected score at this stage stands at 108, which is not going to be enough, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see how they would navigate these next few overs, the middle overs, and to set the momentum, to get that run rate in. At the moment, it's 4.71. If they can reach to at least 6.5 runs per over the next couple of overs, they would fancy anything around 150, I would say. Rashad this time will get only a single. The singles won't hurt them at this stage. Revocare Solutions, they'll be happy to give away singles just to make sure that the pressure is on the batters. Now that is what got into the mind of Shalin Dimel as well. He knew that the pressure was accumulating, the dot balls, the singles were coming in, yes, but the dot balls were accumulating. So he wanted to break the shackles. He wanted to go after the bowling. And that's what pressure makes you do. It just forces you to deviate away from your plan. Whatever the plan that you got, the pressure, it just forces you to deviate from that plan. And that is exactly what happened with that breakthrough in the previous over. Five singles so far in this over. Here comes the last ball from Venkat Rajendran. Nice protection down in the deep, so it'll be just a single. So 6 runs coming off from that over. 10 overs completed. George Steuart 48 for 1. So that was a no ball. So we got one more delivery, and it's going to be a free hit for Sachin Dalpidatu. Couldn't get the connection he was looking for. Just a single. So Venkat Rajendran gets away with that free hit. 10 overs now completed. 50 runs on the board for George Steuart Health.
So there we are. That's the bowling card for Revocare Solutions. Rajendra 3 overs, not for 20. Tilakaratna 4 overs, 1 for 16, and Kapagoda 3 overs, not for 14. Lost at 1 wicket at 41. 4 extras in the total after 10 overs, 50 for 1 is George Steuart's Health. They'll need to put the foot on the accelerator. Just 1 6 and 2 boundaries so far in this innings. So they'll need to ready up this run rate as well. Nicely played. Opens the face of the bat. Runs it down towards third man. They'll come back for 2. Dalpadadu. Very clever shot indeed to pick up 2 runs. So Dinuka Wanyarachi into his first over, and for 2 his figures at the moment. 38 games. Hit officially on the offside. Picked up inside the boundary. They'll come back for 2. That's well run. That's what they start to do now, to put the pressure on the fielders, convert those 1s into 2s. That's what this game is all about. It's 23 overs per side. Lofted on the onside. In the air. Field under it. Takes a comfortable catch. Well, there we are. So Dalpadadu is the man who's out, going for that lofted shot on the onside towards deep mid-wicket. Couldn't clear the man. And straightforward catch, in fact. So he goes a 9. And George Steuart to lose their second wicket. 54 for 2 at the moment. So another wicket, in fact, picked up by Revocare Solutions. They've done well. They've bowled well so far to their field. So Dinuka Wanyarachi, 1 for 4 his figures. And Rishi Adishtan is not out on 19. So Sachin Dalpadadu, he's the man out for 9. Caught by Kapagoda of Wanyarachi. So looking for those big hits. They wanted to go for big hits. They need to get some big ones going as well, because singles and 2s will not help their cause in 23 overs. They'll need to get some boundaries and 6ers going. That's what they tried to do. And they lost 2 wickets in that very identical fashion. Caught at a deep mid-wicket on the boundary. So now they'll need a partnership to come in. So Danushka Madhushan, the new man, walking in to join Rishi Adishtan in the middle. Where in the 11th over, 10.4 overs completed, 54 for 2, George Steuart said. The innings will last only 23 overs, as we are a very late start today because of rains last night and early this morning. In fact, it's a surprise you got play going underway here at the Royal College grounds. Puddles of water all over the grounds, but the ground staff and also the teams helped to clear the water. The umpires too played a big role, make sure that things are put in place quickly. So Wanyarachi 1 for 4 into his first over, 4 balls bowled. We got a left hand on strike. Danushka Madhushankar, 52 matches. He's got 2 50s. So he's got a bit of pedigree with the bat as well. Is Danushka Madhushankar. He just moves the field as well. So Wanyarachi to bowl the 5th ball of his first over. Nicely played. Out towards long off. They'll pick up a single. Madhushankar off the mark straight away with the single. So Rishi Adishtan has faced 34 deliveries for his 19 runs. He must now get a move on. He's been the senior partner there. Open the batting. Going for that reverse hit. Doesn't get hold of it this time. He got 1 boundary going with that. And there we are. So ends the over as well. So 11 overs completed. Dinuka Wanyarachi 1 over 1 for 5. George Steuart said 55 for 2 after 11 overs. Run rate of 5 runs in over. Rishi Adishtan on 19. Danushka Madhushankar on 1. The projected score is 115. We'll wait and see if they'll get there. They'll want to go much past that in 23 overs. Right, so here we are with Damit Kapagoda, who has completed 3 overs, 1 for 14, his figures. Danushka Madhushankar is on strike, he's on one, he's faced this one ball, taking a leg stump guard as well. And Damit Kapakoda, 3 overs, done for 14. Dot ball to start with. So 3 bowlers allowed 5 overs each. And the 2 bowlers could bowl 4 overs. With a big heave on the onside. Perishers once again. Well, there we are. The fielding has been good. The catching has been really good from Revocare Solutions. They picked up their 3rd wicket. Another big heave by Danushka Madhushankar on the onside towards deep mid wicket. There we go. The replay. Good catch in the end, inside the boundary. Had an eye on the boundary rope as well. So George Stewart's health, the innings falling apart, in fact, at the moment. After a good start. And now these 3 wickets and 2 in close succession has really put pressure on them. Madhushankar goes for 1. So we're in the 12th over. 11 overs left after this one is completed. Risira Veerasurya, the new man, walking out to the middle. He joins Rishi Adishtan, the opener, who's on 19 of 35. So Damit Kapagoda, 1 for 14 of 3.2 overs. And Revocare Solutions opting for a lot of spin, in fact. So Rishi Veerasurya, 47 games, he's got 2 50s, and his top score is 94 runs. He's got to play a hand today, is Veerasurya, because George Stewart's health will need his support with the bat. They lost 3 wickets, 55 for 3 after 11.2. Pushed gently on the onside, a short mid wicket. There's no chance of a run. Damit Kapagoda has kept things nice and tight as well. Not pull loose deliveries. Pushed just past that short mid wicket for a single. Veerasurya is off the mark with 1. We're looking at this George Stewart's health scorecard. And there we are. That's the big heave on the onside. That last wicket that fell. Good catch taken inside the boundary. Adishtan on strike. Sweeps, but straight to short, fine leg. No chance of a run. They have to find gaps. They have to try and work the ball around and pick up those runs, convert those ones into 2s. They must get a few boundaries going as well. Could be a run out here. This is close. Very close indeed. But the batsman is Veerasurya, who makes his ground. Was down the track. He was halfway down the track looking for a single. Adishtan was ball watching, in fact. And now they have a little chat and say, look, no need to take any chances. Wide called in the meantime. So with the wide being called, the total moves up by 1 more. Played towards deep mid on, single taken. So Adishtan moves on 20 of 37. That's the end of the over. 12 overs completed. George Stewart's health are 58 for the loss of 3 wickets. Damit Kapagoda 1 for 17 from his 4. Rishi Veerasurya is on 1 of 2. Adishtan is on 20 of 37. The run rate is 4.83. They need to do better than that. because the inning is 23 overs per side because the late start, there were rains last night and this morning. And George Steuart said they're put into bat today by Revocare Solutions, who won the toss. And they kept things nice and tight at the moment. Not allowed the batsmen off the hook, not given them freebies, as they call it. Just 2 boundaries and 1 6 so far in the innings. So long way to go for George Steuart said. They'll need to get some boundaries going. They'll need to look at some of the options to get gaps going on the field as well. Vanyarachi again outside the line of off stump. Going for the cut shot is Adishtan is beaten outside the line of off stump. Bit of extra bounce as well. Going for the sweep shot, gets it down towards backward square leg. The fielder is after it, gives up chase into the boundary for 4. This is the 3rd boundary. Welcome boundary for George Steuart. Rishi Adishtan picks up his 2nd. There we go, along the ground. That's well played. They'll need to get a few of those shots going. 62 for 3 is George Steuart. The run rate creeps up just over 5.03 at the moment. Played down the track, the bowler fields on his follow through. Vanyarachi 1 for 9 from 1.3 overs. Can't beat the man at point. So it's another dot ball. Lofted on the offside. It's safe. Picked up inside the boundary, but they'll come back for the 2nd run. Are they looking for 3? They should have been looking for 3, but they settled for just 2 runs. So Rishi Adishtan realizes that they must now go for some big hits. They must get some boundaries going. Keep the scoreboard moving. 64 for 3 after 12.5. Sweeps in the air, well played. No chance for fielder, into the boundary for 4. So 2 boundaries this over for Rishi Adishtan. Opened his shoulders, played some good shots. And that ends the over. 13 overs completed as we look at that the sweep shot again. Very safe indeed. 1 bounce to the boundary for 4. So 68 for 3 George Steuart after 13 overs. Run rate moves up to 5.23. Adishtan moves on to 30 of 43. Viraswar is on 1. And Vanyarachi, 2 overs, 1 for 15, his figures. So you've got 10 overs left in this innings. Each inning is 23 overs because the late start. Heavy rains last night and early this morning in Colombo. We've had so much rains around, in fact, in the Colombo area. And this is a full weekend of cricket today and tomorrow. And for those of you watching our live telecast of all the action from the Royal College grounds in Colombo, you're not very familiar with these grounds, but it's a school ground, it's a nice ground. It's well located. So Ruan Sondakalum, 17 matches, he's picked up 4 wickets. 441, his best bowling figures. So a lot of spin options for Revocare Solutions. Plays gently on the offside. Through for the single with the shot, in fact. So takes Virasurian to 2, brings Rishi Adishtan on 30 to take strike. He's faced 43 balls. The last over was a very productive over for Adishtan. He got 2 boundaries in that over. So Ruan Sanakalum in his first over. $69 for 3, George Steuart said. Now the dot ball. Quicker delivery from Sanakalum. The spinners from Revocare tend to bowl much faster. Drives on the onside. Single being taken. Just makes his ground is Adishtan. Field at mid-on. Fields clean. Has a go at the bowler's end. Didn't hit the stumps. But perhaps Adishtan was home. Takes him on to 31 of 46 deliveries. There we go. That's the replay. Yeah, he was home, no doubt. There we go. Stumped, no doubt. The foot moved. Veerasurya trying to work it on the onside. And George Steuart's Health lose their 4th wicket. Excellent piece of stumping. Let's take a look at that. Here we go. So given out, stumped, and well, that's the 4th wicket falling. Receiver Veerasurya, the man out. Stumped by Ranga Jayakodi of Sandakalum. So slowly but surely, Revocare Solutions have taken a firm grip of this game. They won the toss and invited George Steuart's Health to bat first. And now we restricted them to 70 for 4 in the 14th over. 9 overs left after this one is completed. Chanul Athakoral, a new man coming in, he's played 23 matches. Top score being 37 not out. They'll need him to give Adishtan all the support to try and build up a partnership. So Adishtan is there on 31. He opened the batting. Tucked around the corner. Single being taken. Athakorala off the mark with 1. So 14 overs completed. And George Steuart's Health 71 for the loss of 4 wickets. With Adishtan on 31 of 46. Athakorala is on 1. And Sandakalum 1 for 3 from his 1 over. The current run rate 5.07. They'll need to up that run rate. George Steuart's Health. So 15th over about to get underway. Athakorala on strike. Off the edge, but they'll get a single. The ball runs out towards that point region. Lovely afternoon here in Colombo. The sun beaming down the grounds as well. Good conditions for cricket. Dinuka Wanyarachi, 1 for 16 of 2.1. 72 for 4, George Steuart's Health. We're in the 15th over. Playing a miss outside the line of off stump. Bit of extra bounce on that one. The spinners from Revocare Solutions seem to be bowling much quicker than a normal spinner. In they are, gone. Another wicket. Adishtan, this time the man out. A very soft dismissal. Well, look at that. There we go. Outside the line of off stump. Nothing short, in fact, from him. And a straightforward catch at point region. And George Steuart Health lose their fifth wicket, 72 for 5. Adishtan goes for 31, is the top scorer so far. But my word, his innings was important. He needed to bat to the end. They're losing wickets in a heap at the moment is George Steuart Health. At 72 for 5 after 14.3 overs. The run rate has gone down to below 5, 4.97 runs an over. Right, so Wanyarachi has picked up his second wicket, 2 for 16 of 2.3 overs. Thisara Wickramasinghe, the new man in. Wickramasinghe, 72 games, he's got 850s under his belt. Top score of 88. The strike rate is good, 94.22. And could he maintain that strike rate today? Because they need him to make a big innings today, George Steuart Health. He's a strong man, there's no doubt. Play and a miss. Did he get edge to that? Wicket keeper didn't collect cleanly. Few oohs and ahs in the middle. Going for the drive, hits it hard in the ground. There's no chance of getting a run. The ball runs out on the onside towards that short mid-wicket. The last ball coming up on 15th over. That's the last dismissal. Adishtan, the man out. A very poor shot. A play and a miss outside the line of off stump again. End of the over, 15 completed. George Steuart Health, 72 for 5. Wickramasinghe still to score. Athukorala in 2 and Dinuka Wanyarachi 2 for 16 from 3.
$15 overs done, 72 runs on the board in sport of bother. George Steuart Health with 5 down, half the side, back in the pavilion. It's been a remarkable comeback from Revocare after that opening partnership of 41 runs. And from there onwards, the spinners came in and picked up wickets and didn't really allow any of the batters from George Steuart Health to settle down or to form any sort of a partnership. And that's how good Revocare Solution have been so far in this game, especially the spinners. They have taken the control of this game. The run rate hasn't really moved beyond 5 runs per over. It has been quite stagnant in that 4.5 runs per over. Even now it's 4.81. So which means Revocare Solutions, they haven't really let anything go loose at this stage of the game. The leg spinner Ruan Sandakalum bowled extremely well, picked up a wicket in his first over. And he's bowling with good pace and he's getting some perches off the surface as well. As a leg spinner, obviously you can get something out of a matting surface. And it's really handy from the point of Revocare Solutions, as they've used the spinners effectively. They knew their strength is bowling. That's why without any hesitation, the captain, after winning the toss, decided to bowl first. And they're running through the overs quickly as well. The spinners of Revocare Solutions. A faster delivery. Oh, a slight deflection of the bat. Oh, that's a good shot. That's gone all the way for a boundary. A much needed boundary for George Steuart Health. A short pitch delivery. Tisara Wickramasinghe goes after it. The opportunity is presented and the opportunity is utilized that time from George Steuart Health. Right, so 7 runs from this over. We got one more delivery. Is it going to be another faster delivery from Ruan Sandakalam? He's been mixing it up nicely. Oh yes, the faster delivery. This time he goes up in there. Oh, it's a wonderful catch. You cannot do anything better than that. Revocare Solutions, the fielders have been absolutely brilliant. Is that Venkat Rajendran? We'll wait for the confirmation, but whoever that was a wonderful catch. Diving in front. There we go. Played it right at the straight at the fielder. He had to cover some ground. He had to come forward. Eyes on the ball right till the end. And just like that, the 6th wicket goes down. George Steuart falling much deeper into trouble. And Ruan Sandakalam, after conceding a boundary in the previous delivery, have now come back with a wicket. George Steuart now 79 for 6. $79 for 6 now. At the end of over number 16. 7 more overs to go. The current run rate just below 5 runs per over. Obviously, the first target should be to get to that 100-run mark for George Steuart. At the moment, 79 for 6 and got 7 more overs to go. And this is a wicket. Slapped hard, a cross-batted shot from the batter. But look at this catch. Diving forward. Couldn't have asked for a better effort from the fielder that time. Ramesh Nalaperumi is a new batter in. 27 matches, 429 runs for him. 150 to his name. Oh, nicely bowled once again, Dinuka Vanyarachi. Not giving anything away, just like his rest of the bowlers. He was touch expensive in his second over. But still, good figures in 3.3 overs. 2 for 17. He adjusted his line and length properly after that over, where he was taken for a couple of boundaries, where I felt like he bowled touch too full, especially onto the pads, which made it easy for Rishi Adishtan to sweep that ball away. But since then, they've come back strongly. He has come back strongly, Dinuka Vanyarachi, to pick a couple of wickets and to keep things very tight and economical. A single to finish things off. Just 3 runs coming out from that over. 17 overs done, 82 for 6. Leg spinner back with the ball in hand. Ruan Sandakalum. 2 wickets for 10 runs. Nicely bowled once again. Beaten off the surface. It's a pace in which he's bowling, isn't it? He has good control. He knows where to pitch the ball in. Touch to full this time. That was a faster delivery. There's a nice mix of deliveries. He doesn't really bowl a googly of any sort. It's just that the faster delivery that makes it difficult to predict. Be another single. Nicely deflected this time from Chanulata Korala. Wouldn't really go the way, but every run matters at this stage. Just a single. Revocare Solutions captain did mention that their target is to restrict George Steuart held for anything around 120 to 125. And they're well on track to achieve that with 6 down for 85. And with 18 overs completed, it seems to be right on track to achieve that target. 18 done, 86 for 6. Right, so Dinukuwan Nyarachi back with the ball in hand. Tossed up, driven down the ground. Both mid-on. Mid-on is down in the deep with mid-off up inside the 30-yard circle. Long on, I beg your pardon. Oh, nicely bowled. Once again, enticing the batter to come to his front foot. It just leaves no option for the batter. Dinukuwan Nyarachi. There we go. This time, once again, just enough spin on offer to beat that outside edge. This time the batter was stuck inside his crease, Chanulata Korala. Gone. Faster delivery. Right on the stumps. And Dinuka Wanyarachi picks up his third. And George Steuart now 7 down for 87. Right on the money. Faster, fuller. And it does the trick. Just going under the bat of the batsman. Chanulata Kural is gone for 8. Dinuka Wanyarachi with his third wicket of the match. Chomat Chaturya is the new man in 60 matches with 738 runs. So he can bat. Just what they require at this stage. Someone to come in and to stabilize things a bit. Last ball of this over coming up. Just 1 run and a wicket. This was the one. There we go. Nicely looped in. The batter couldn't get under the ball properly. Head going nowhere, and he just made sure that it stays in full and straight. Beautifully done. Just 1 run and a wicket from that over from Dinuka Wanyarachi. 19 done, 87 for 7. George Steuart help. For 7. The current run rate has further depleted down to just 4.58. And here's Ruan Sandakalum. 2 for 14. It doesn't get easy for George Steuart help. One spinner goes off, another spinner comes in. It starts off with a dot delivery. It goes high up in there. No chance for the fielder. Just falls short of the fielder down in the deep. At long off. Right, so the intentions are clear. Ramesh Nalapirima might try to go after the bowling, and Chomat Chaturya, what's his role is going to be? Yet to get off the mark now. Driven will be just a single. Right, it's not a wise thing to do to come down the track against a leg spinner. Especially if you are a right-hander. If the ball is spinning away from you, it's not the best thing to do to come down the track. Especially for a bowler like Ruan Sandakalum, who's bowling with good pace, who has accuracy, who can change or alter his length quickly and be very much proactive. It's not going to be a good decision. There we go, faster delivery. Off the edge. It's just a single. Worked away towards the onside for just a single. So 20 overs completed. 92 for 7. Ramesh Nalaperume and Chamat Chaturya, the two batters out there in the middle. A steady start from Shalin Demil and Rishi Adishtan. That opening partnership was worth 41 runs from that, but from there onwards, you can see none of the batters were able to get to double figures. That's where things started to go down for George Steuart Health, and it's all thanks to this bowling attack. Ruan Sadakalam 2 for 19, Dinuka 3 for 20, and 1 wicket apiece for Damit Kappegoda and Danushka Tilakaratna. Venkat Rajendran, who picked up 4 wickets in the previous game, where he bowled 3 overs, none for 20. It's been all about the spinners. Look at that. First wicket down for 41, and from there onwards, 54, 55, 70, 72, 79, and then the final wicket at 87. We got 3 more overs to go in this innings. Where can George Steuart Health finish? Asking the question. Nothing there from the umpire. Venkat Rajendran starts off with a good delivery outside the off stump. The umpire, the wicket-keeper and the bowler. Look at that. Inward movement there from Venkat Rajendran. Just went through the bat. Doesn't seem like there was an edge that time. He starts off with a good delivery. Venkat Rajendran, he's an exciting bowler. Just a single. Play towards mid-wicket. Singles won't hit them. As I mentioned over a couple of times at this stage, they won't mind these two batters getting those ones. The fielding has been quite remarkable from Revocare Solutions. The ground fielding, the catching, everything has been up to the standards, I would say. Right, should look for 2. No, just a single. The idea was right from Chamat Chaturya. He was targeting that deep mid-wicket fielder. He was just trying to tap and run, but couldn't get the connection he was looking for to get it past the bowler. Otherwise, there would have been a certain couple of runs. Punch on the ground. Not going anywhere. Now this time looking for the second run. This is good. Oh, got to hurry. Not the best of the runnings this time from the batter, Ramesh Nalaperume. But he gets there somehow. Punched on the ground. Sort of a slap from Ramesh. And there we go. He was struggling. He was struggling to run. Oh, that's a good shot. That's a wonderful shot. And that's going all the way for a boundary. And 100 up with that 4. Ramesh Nalaperume just using the pace of the delivery. Just using the pace of the delivery. And just a small deflection. There we go. Nicely played. Knew exactly where the fielders were positioned. and got it past that fine leg fielder. Right, it's a touch expensive, Venkat Rajendran. 8 runs from this over. Here you go, the last ball. And he gets a single. So 9 runs coming off from that over of Venkat Rajendran. 21 done, 2 more to go. Steuart held 101 for 7. Right, so Damit Kapagada to bowl his last over and the penultimate over of this innings. 101 for 7. 21 overs completed. Where can Steuart Health end up at the end of their 23 overs? We'll find out soon. Swing and a miss. Ramesh Nallaperuma, he's got a mission on his hand and he's going to go after your bowling. He was there to be hit though. Didn't really get under the ball properly. This time he gets it, but will be just a single. Oh, a miss. Oh, this is a good chance. And it's taken. A total confusion between the two batters. And it's Ramesh Nallaperuma who has to get that long walk back to the pavilion. This is what happened. He gets an okay connection, I would say, towards the onside. And Nallaperuma had no choice but to get to the other end. Chamat Chaturya, he was almost in that non-striker's end when Ramesh Nallaperuma decided to go towards the striker's end. There was never a couple of runs there. Right, so now it's 8 down for 102 runs. Here's Kasun Rodrigo is the new man in. Damit Kapagada. He bowled well. Again, 1 for 18. Just 4.3. This is Kasun Rodrigo. 746 runs in 39 innings. That's a good looking shot, but there is a fielder down in the deep. Will be just a single. Mid-wicket fielder comes in. And more. Oh, this time asking the question. Gone. Finger goes up. 9 down, Steuart. 103 for 9, Chamat Chaturya. Trying to be cheeky, but ended up getting that ball hit on the pads right in front of the stumps. A premeditated shot for sure from Chamat Chaturya, and he's gone for 3. And Damit Kapagada bags another wicket. Chatura Jainath is the last man in. Here's Dante Kappikada. The boy's last delivery. Oh, barely survived. 22 done. George Steuart held 103 for 9. Right, so here we go. The last over of the innings. And it will be Ruan Sandakalum who's going to bowl the 23rd over. Can he bag another wicket? He certainly has the skills and the ability. And with the last man in, he might try to fancy finish things off quickly. But it's been a wonderful bowling performance from Revocare Solutions right from the start. They didn't really let any of these George Steuart held batters to settle down, to form any sort of partnership. Here we go, the last over. Goes up in there. Got to go for a couple of runs. Got to hurry. He gets there. Good run in between the wickets. Right, so starts off with a couple of runs. Not the best of the deliveries from Ruan Sandakalum. Short and wide. Something even the number 11 batter would find it easy. Right, 3 runs from the first 2 deliveries. Here's Chatura Jainath. Gets another single. Good run in between the wickets. Tapping and running. Gone. Ruan Sandakalum keeps it straight and it full, and it does the trick for Revocare Solutions and for Ruan Sandakalum. He finished things off with 3 for 23 in 4.4 overs. It's been a wonderful performance from the bowlers of Revocare Solutions to wrap things up quickly. Well, not quickly, but took 22.4 overs. But Cousin Rodrigo, this is the last man to be dismissed for 4 runs. But they never let George Steuart held to get those runs out there in the middle. Never let any of the batters to settle down and to form any sort of a partnership. Really made sure that that they are sitting right on that driving seat right from the start to the very end of this innings. George Steuart held all out for 107 in just 22.4 overs. It's been a wonderful performance from the Revocare Solutions. It's been a collective effort, almost all the spinners. But looking into this batting card, only 3 batters getting into double figures. Shalin Demel 22, Rishi Adishran played well for 31. He took his time, but the conditions weren't that easy to bat on. So he got 31 or 48. But right from that moment onwards, right after that opening partnership of 41 runs, things started to fall down for George Steuart Health. And at the end of that innings, you can see Ramesh Nalleperumal scoring 16. But other than that, none of the batters were able to put up a good show with the bat. And it's all thanks to the bowling of Revocare Solutions. The spinners in particular, Venkat Rajendran, the only fast bowler who bowled 4 overs None for 29 for him. But look at those spinners. Danushka Tilakaratne 1 for 16. Damita Kappegowda 2 for 19. Dinuka Vanniyarachi, a floaty off spinner, 3 for 20. And then Ruan Sandakalum, the leg spinner, picking up 3 for 23 as well. You can see the fall of wickets right after that opening partnership of 41 runs. Things collapsed entirely for George Steuart Health. And as a result, they're all out for 107 in just 22.4 overs. Now let's see how things started off and how things went about. The highlights of this innings from the George Steuart Health. They started off well. Shalin Demel and Rishi Adhistan looked like they were in good control. They played some really good shots, especially Shalin Demel looked pretty comfortable out there in the middle, but he started to feel the pressure as Rishi Adhistan took his time to, settle down and to make things happen out there in the middle. And Shalin Demel fell prey to that pressure and he was dismissed. And then from there onwards, wickets started to tumble one after another, and none of the batters except for Ramesh Nalleperuma were able to get into that double figures. And that's where everything started to collapse for the George Steuart Health. Rishi Adhistan, he lost wickets, he lost partners at the other end, but he just kept going. But it came to a point where even he couldn't get over the bowling of Revocare Solutions. The spinners on conditions that weren't that easy to bat on. The surface was not that fast, and at the same time the conditions were slow. But at the end of the day, you have to give the credit where it's due, and the fielding, the bowling, everything was up to the perfection from Revocare Solutions. So that will give us some confidence, some boost for the batters, knowing that they only have to chase down a total of 108 runs to win. And this was the last few wickets that fell down, the spinners coming in to the tail enders, and this was the last wicket where Ruan Sandakalum picked up a wicket to complete his 3-wicket haul. Alright, so that's the end of the first innings as George Steuart Health all out for 107 runs. And we'll take a short break and we'll be back with the run chase. Right, so welcome back to Royal College Grounds as we bring you the live action on Sporty.lk. The D Division, the Mercantile Cricket Association D Division tournament. It's Revocare Solutions versus George Steuart Health. After winning the toss, Revocare Solutions captain elected to bowl first, and their bowlers have done their job, restricting George Steuart Health for just 107 runs in 22.4 overs. And now it's all up to the batters of Revocare to chase things down and to make sure that they not only chase this target down, but also they do it in quick time. Still the early days of the tournament. Revocare Solutions playing only their second game. And George Steuart Health playing their third game or the other way around, I beg your pardon. George Steuart Health playing their second game. They won their first game, and now Revocare Solutions playing their third game. They won one, they lost one, and now they have another good chance to add a win under their belt if they chase this 108 runs in 23 overs. Remember, it's a rain-shortened game. Persistent rain right from the morning forced the match officials, rather, to restrict this game to a 23-over game. So the bowlers have done the job for Revocare. Now it's up to the batters. 108 in 23 overs might look like an easy target on paper. Well, let me tell you, the conditions aren't that suitable for batting, I would say. A bit slower. The outfield is not that fast as well. So you gotta put all your hard work to make sure that you get that ball towards the boundary if you're playing it down the ground. But the ground staff have done a tremendous job in making things not ideal, I would say okay for cricket. Right from the morning, it was heavy showers. Now what's it going to be? What should be the plan for Sachin Dalpadath, the captain of George Steuart Health? What sort of an approach? Is it going to be an all-spin attack from George Steuart as well? That's where Revocare Solutions found their groove, found their trick. The bowling of spinners, all their spinners took wickets. And is that the same approach that Dalpadath would also follow? Now it looks like they're going to start off with a faster bowler just to see how things would progress. 108 of 138. That's the equation for Revocare Solutions to win their third game in this tournament. This is MCA D Division tournament brought to you live from Sporty.lk right here from Royal College Grounds. Here we go, ball number one. And starts off with a fuller delivery. Nothing there from the umpire. Look at the fielders around the umpire. They're so convinced that it was right in front. But this will be an interesting replay. Tanushka Tilakaratne is one of the openers for Revocare Solutions. 2,860 runs with 14 50s and 100. That's quite the profile for Tanushka Tilakaratne. 138 matches. A wayward delivery. Short and wide. Tanushka Tilakaratne is not very interested. This is Cousin Rodrigo bowling for George Steuart Health. 56 matches, 56 wickets. The best figures of 4 for 20. He's got a job to do here. Put early pressure. They got to make sure that they're picking up wickets. That's the only way they're going to win this match, though. Nice loop there from Cousin Rodrigo. And good carry through to the wicketkeeper as well, Danushka Tilakaratne. So the fuller length delivery just looped off nicely. More of a tennis ball bounce that time from Cousin Rodrigo. There we go once again. Goes for another short pitch delivery and it's been given as a wide. Once again that tennis ball bounce from Cousin Rodrigo. Taking his time, Danushka Tilakaratne. He seems like a capable batter. Vidurshan as well, both the batters did well. Revocare Solutions did well against Yokohama as they lost wickets. This was last Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, at University of Colombo grounds, where Revocare Solutions beat Yokohama Tires. A waiver delivery. Not given as a wide though. That's the end of the over. 1 over completed. 2 runs without loss. Right, so looks like they're opting to go with a spinner as well from the other end. Sachin Dalpedathu. JP Vidurshan. He's the other opener for Revocare. 180 matches. Wow. In excess of 5,000 runs for JP Vidurshan. 11 hundreds and 23 50s. So 2 solid batters up front for Revocare. Chamat Chaturya. A left arm off spinner. Quick single. Good one there from JP Vidurshan. Just tapping and running. You put that pressure early on towards the fielders. Chamat Chaturya, 76 matches, 103 wickets. So it's a good match, Chamat and Vidurshan. Obviously after a single, puts Danushka back on strike. Danushka Tilakaratne not happy that time. He thinks that there was a single there. Hit it straight into the hands of the fielder. Just one run coming off from the first over from Chamat Chaudhary. 2 overs done, 3 without loss. Swing and a miss. Vidurshan saw the opportunity that time. Cousin Rodrigo just sticking with the short pitch deliveries on the offside with on offer. Oh, once again, look at that bounce that Cousin Rodrigo is generating. He's completely deceived the batter, and somehow it has gone above the stumps, missing that top of middle stump. There we go. Completely deceived the batter. Once again, it's not making things easy, Cousin Rodrigo, for the batters. There we go. Once again, that bounce. Oh, we didn't see that in the first innings. Maybe Cousin Rodrigo, his seam position, and everything makes it difficult for the batters. Vidurshan and Dhanushka Tilakartne both so far have struggled against Cousin Rodrigo. Once again, swing and a miss. On the offside this time. Last ball of this over. Oh, that's a wide. Down the leg side. Down the leg side. Given as a wide. Cousin Rodrigo. A rare loose delivery from Cousin Rodrigo. He's been bowling well. Oh, there we go. Once again. Three overs completed. 4 runs on the board from Revocare Solutions.
Right, so here we are. Difficulties to put bat to ball. And as you talk to the light, will also start dipping. So 104 required of 102 balls. So this is the 4th over getting underway. 3.1 overs, none for 4 is Revocare Solutions Private Limited. Yes, no, yes, no. This is poor from the opening batsman. They need to get their act together. This one pulled away. That's into the boundary for 4. The first boundary coming in for the innings. A short delivery from Chaturya. And Anushka Tilak had made full use of that. Look at that, so short. And got 4 runs, useful 4 runs. Again, a play and a miss outside the line of off stump. Quite a few deliveries. The batsmen are unable to get back to ball. And plays it straight towards point region, looking for a single. There was no run in that for sure. Non-striker refused to take the single. So 100 needed of 115 balls. That's the equation. This time played on the offside. Single been taken. Big shout. Given out. They'll be run out. So Revocare Solutions Private Limited lose their first wicket. A run out, in fact. There we are. So Vidurshan, the man who's out. JP Vidurshan. It had to happen. Look at that. That's where the run out came in. The throw. Batsman short of his ground. Umpire's finger came up straight away. And this whole over, the way that they were looking to get singles, he was certainly going to be a candidate for a run out. Because Vidushan is out for 2. So it's 8 for 1 in the 4th over. Well, the time here in Colombo is 36 minutes past 4 o'clock. But as we talk to you, the light is certainly starting to dip at the grounds. This match restricted to 23 overs per side because of a late start. And George Steuart's health put you to bat today by Revocare Solutions. They made 107 all out in 22.4 overs. So Danishka on strike, Eranga Jayakodi at the non-strikers end. Chama Chatre at 2 overs, done for 5 his figures. So So 100 in 114 balls. They got 9 wickets in hand. That's the equation for Revocare Solutions Private Limited. So Jack Cody's statistics is played 101 matches, got 113 50s. Again, the player missed outside the line of off stump. This has been what we've seen throughout this innings. Player miss outside the line of off stump. Two batsmen have a little chat now. So Kasun Rodrigo, 2.1 overs, none for 3 figures. And there's that run out again. A quick single being taken. Return to wicket keeper. Batsman has shot his ground. Again, a player miss outside the line of off stump. Current run rate 1.85. They require 5.36 from this stage onwards. The question is, how far will this match go, or how long will this match go on? If the light starts to dip, again a play and a miss. So this has been a common factor, play and a miss outside the line of off stump. Certainly there must be a problem with the light, that the batsmen are not seeing this ball too well. There we go again, outside the line of off stump. Unable to get back to ball, that's the biggest problem for the Revocare Solutions Private Limited batsmen. Lofted this time in the air, drops safely. They come back for the second run. So 2 runs after quite some time. Takes the Revocare Solutions Private Limited total on to 10 for the loss of 1 wicket. We're in the 5th over. So Danishka, he moves on to 6 of 19 deliveries. Lofted on the onside this time, down towards deep mid-wicket. At least a couple. Didn't quite get hold of it, but enough back to get a couple of runs. So that's good enough for Revocare Solutions Private Limited to get a couple of runs at least of every other ball. At least it will do their run rate good. It moves up to 2.48 at the moment. So 1 ball left to the 5th over. Kasun Rodrigo none for 7 from 2.5 overs. Beautifully driven. That's 4. There's no stopping that. Timing was perfect. Passed the ball on the offside. And they got another boundary. So back-to-back boundaries in these 2 overs. Ends the 5 overs. And Revocare Solutions certainly made full use of that. Look at that. A lovely shot. The timing was good. The bowler had no chance to get a hand to it. He just raced away to the boundary. So 16 for 1 after 5 overs is Revocare Solutions Private Limited. And Danishka moves into double figures on 12 or 21. Ranga Jayakodi still to score. And there we are. That's the Worms as well. George Stewart's putting to bat today. They made 107 all out in 22.4 overs. And Revocare Solutions, slow start. Lots of dot balls to start with. In the last couple of overs, they got a boundary each in those overs. The Danishka Madhushankar to be in operation. Ranga Jayakodi will have his first strike. 92 required of 108 balls. That's the equation for Revocare Solutions. adjustments to the field as well. As here we are waiting for the first ball to come up from the change bowler. Slept on the offside towards deep mid-off, so they'll pick up 1 run for that. Now, Revocare Solutions Private Limited, they'll need to keep an eye on that the clock as well, and also the light, because the light seems to be dipping right now. Even though the time reads about 44 minutes past 4 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon here in Colombo. Push to the offside. Single been taken. Excellent running. Looking for overthrows. Not to be. They've got to be careful taking those quick singles, converting those ones into twos. You've got to have an eye on your partner as well as to what he's really doing. So takes Revocare Solutions Private Limited 18 for 1 in the 6th over. 90 required of 106. Plate was long on this time, so only a single. Push towards short mid wicket this time, no chance of a run. So Danishka Madhushankar, 4 balls, is bowled, none for 3 his figures. Again going for that cut shot, doesn't make contact, wicket keeper collects another dot ball. So last ball, the 6th over coming up. That's the delivery outside the line of off stump. In 2 minds, ends a dot ball, ends the over. 6 completed, and Revocare Solutions Private Limited 19 for 1. Danishka is on 13. Ranga is on 2. Madhushankar 1 over, none for 3. So 89 required of 102 balls. That's the equation for Revocare Solutions Private Limited. Jayakodi is taking guard, the left-hander. Tisara Vikramasinghe, change bowler, to come in. So George Steuart Hurt too has quite a few spin options. They'll want to use them as well to pick up wickets. Smart stop, but extra cover. This time picks up a single, plays towards sweeper cover. So takes Jayakodi on to 3, brings Danushka to take strike. He just moves the field as well. The man at deep backward square leg moved to a deep mid wicket. Going for the pull shot. Didn't quite get hold of it, but he'll pick up a single. Was it off the bat? Was it a leg by? We'll wait for the umpire's call. Yes, had some bat in that. Again, pushed gently out on the offside. Another single being taken. A quick single. That's well run. Field that shot third man. Fired in the returns wicket keeper, but the batsman was home. That's what really happened. Played his soft hands on the offside. The return comes in. Driven powerfully on the offside, straight towards long off. They'll get one more. So last ball of the 7th over coming up. 23 for 1 is Revocare Solutions Private Limited. Again pushed out of the offside, single being taken. Smart running. Very smart running because that was a very quick single. They do well to complete the single. So 7 overs completed and Revocare Solutions are 24 for 1. Dhanushka on 15 and Niranga Jayakodi on 5. This is Vikram Singh, 1 over, none for 5. Current run rate 3.43. They require 5.25 from this stage onwards. Have to up their game. So Dhanushka Madhushankar to bowl his second over. None for 3 his figures. Niranga Jayakodi on strike. The left-hander. Played past that short extra cover. Coming back for 2. That's good running. Excellent running indeed. The return was a poor one to the bowler. So they completed 2 runs quite comfortably in the end. That's good running between wickets. Putting the pressure on the fielders. That's what it should be doing. 26 for 1 is Revocare Solutions. Jayakodi on 7. A dot ball played out in the offside towards short extra cover. This time pushed to the right of that short extra cover. They'll pick up a single. That's a well-judged single again. Takes Revocare Solutions on to 27 for 1. After 7.4 overs. So each inning is 23 overs because we had a late start due to heavy rains last night and early this morning. And this game being played at the Royal College grounds in Colombo. Perhaps all our viewers not very familiar with this ground, but it's a lovely ground. It's a school ground, no doubt. Played by the oldest school in Sri Lanka, Royal College. So a lot of work went on today to try and get the ground ready for playing a match of 23 overs aside. Cramped up a space this time. Ends the over. 8 completed, and Revocare Solutions 27 for 1. Dhanushka on 15, Jayakodi on 8, and Madhushankar 2 overs, none for 6. So there's the scorecard for Revocare Solutions Private Limited. Vidusharan, the man out, run out. In fact, both batsmen were qualifying for runouts in that over. Nicely swept. Got back to it. Long chase to the fielder. They come back for the second run. And that crosses the boundary. That's for very useful boundary indeed for Revocare Solutions Private Limited. So Jayakodi moves on to 8. We'll look at that. Nicely played. Along the ground down towards that backward square leg region. Fielder couldn't get there. 31 for 1. So Revocare Solutions will have to up this game because they know that the target is 108 for the 77 required to win. So Vikramasinghe, 1.2 overs, none for 9. Trying to use his feet and play that out was Jayakodi, but it digs it out in the end. Going for another sweep shot, doesn't make contact. Wicketkeeper collects outside the line of off stump. Played his soft hands again, looking for one non-striker, but sent back, quite rightly so, by Jayakodi. So last ball, the 9th over coming up. Just a 4 runs so far of this over. That one sweep shot before. Pulls this one on the onside. That's a good shot into the boundary at long on for 6 in fact. That clears the boundary for 6. So 10 of this over and 9 overs completed with Revocare Solutions on 37 for the loss of 1 wicket. We look at that. Flat 6 on the bat of Jayakodi. In fact, it's well played. He moves on to 18, Dhanushka on 15, and Vikramasinghe 2 overs, and none for 15. 71 required to win of 84. Right, so George Stewart's hit. They'll make the bowling changes. They'll want to get wickets. Chanul Athukorala to bowl his first over. A medium pace bowler. So the helmets went out for the batsmen as well. Field settling in. Short third man along with a deep point extra cover. Mid off on the offside. On the onside, he's got the man at short fine leg, deep backward square leg. Deep mid wicket, and also a long on. So the field well spread for Athukorala. played a miss outside the line of off stump. So 37 for 1 is Revocare Solutions after 9.1 overs. Ranga Jakod is on 18, Danushka is on 15. Good look at the grounds. These are Royal College grounds in Colombo. So keen competition at the moment in this Mercantile Cricket Association D Division 50 overs league tournament for 2025. Played gently on the offside, single being taken. They have to look at some ways of picking up these runs, rotate the strike. And now the equation 70 required of 81 balls. They got 9 wickets in hand. So Jayakodi on 18 is on strike. Danushka is on 16. The on strikers in his face 32 balls. So 9.3 overs completed off 23 for 38 for 1. Dab down on the onside towards the bowler who's on his follow through. There's the fielding. Current run rate 3.93. They require 5.25 from this stage onwards. The 5.25 is not the problem. It's to get those runs going because lots of dot balls, lots of deliveries on play on a miss as well outside the line of off stump. Pulled this time nicely on the onside. One bounce the fielder. Only a single. Danushka on strike on 16. The last ball, the 10th over coming up. Nicely played towards a backfoot point. They pick up a single. They'll end the over. 10 completed. And Revocare Solutions are 40 for the loss on 1 wicket. Jayakodi on 19. And Danushka is on 17. Athakurala 1 over. None for 3. 68 required to win of 78. So there's the equation, 68 of 78 deliveries. 9 wickets in hand. If you missed out of the first part of the action today, when this game got underway at 2:25 in the afternoon and restricted 23 overs per side, Revocare Solutions won the toss, invited George Steuart Sale to bat first and bowled them out for 107 in 22.4 overs. So in the shortened game, 3 bowlers allowed to bowl 5 overs. 2 bowlers can bowl 4 overs. First 5 overs power play. Driven on the onside. Coming back for 2. That's good running. Return comes in. Batsman beats the return at the non-striker's end. That's excellent running. That's what they should be doing, in fact, the Revocare Solutions batsmen. Because as we talk to you, the light is certainly dipping. It's not going to be the most or the best conditions for any batsman. There we go. Wickets are broken, but the batsman is home. So Revocare Solutions, they'll have to look at some ways to get some runs going as well quickly. Current run rate 4.06. They require 5.21. Play gently on the onside, looking for one, but not to be. Wicket keeper quickly onto it. Driven up history, out towards long off again, just a single. So one ball left in the 11th over. 43 for 1 is Revocare Solutions. There's a last shot over the bowler's head. He had no chance of getting that. Again, adjustments to the field. We got a left-hand, right-hand combination in the middle at the moment. 65 required of 73 deliveries. That's the equation. 9 wickets in hand. Lofted on the offside. Safe. They pick up only one. That ends the over. So 11 overs completed. And Revocare Solutions are 44 for the loss of 1 wicket. Danushka is on 20. Jayakodi on 20. And Madhushankar, 3 overs, none for 10. There we are, the scoreboard, the electronic scoreboard at the Royal College grounds. Nice scoreboard, easy to read. 44 is the total. 1 wicket down, the last man 2. Batsman 3, 20, and batsman 2 is also on 20. DLS is 48, but it doesn't come into play at the moment. We'll need to complete 20 overs in fact to get DLS coming in. Going to be tough to get 20 overs in here. We've got another 9 overs if we're talking about completing 20. 11 overs completed. It's not going to be easy to sight the ball for these batsmen. Chatura Jayanath, left arm spinner coming in. He's played 19 matches, picked up 4 for 18 as his best bowling figures. Economy rate is 4.97. So George Steuart Health will need wickets. That's what they're looking for, wickets. Pulled on the onside. Into the boundary for 4. Very useful boundary indeed for Revocare Solutions. When boundaries are not coming in, difficult to score runs. There we go. Good shot. Timed it well, picked the gap beautifully between that deep mid wicket and long on. 48 for 1. 60 required now of 71. Down the track. Hit away again on the offside. Diving stop at the boundary. They come back for 2. So 6 runs of the 2 deliveries so far in this over. And brings up the 50 for Revocare Solutions. It's a good stop. The ball was traveling quickly, in fact, over the outfield. .58 required. On the bat, but certainly sliding down the leg side. Half-hearted shout for the wicketkeeper. Jainath again, bowled 3 balls, ran for 6 his figures, the boundary and those 2 runs. Reverse sweep, but straight to the fielder. At short third man, no chance of a run. .58 required of 68, the equation, 9 wickets in hand. Down the track, lofted again, caught near the boundary. That's an excellent catch. Kept his eyes on the ball. Jayakodi, the man who departs for 26. He had to make a go of it. He couldn't really keep blocking out and trying to just rotate the strike. He needed to get runs and going for a big heave on the onside. A good catch taken at long on. That's what really happened. There is down the track. Lofted, and look at that catch. Very nicely taken. Made sure that he was nowhere near the boundary line. So Jayakodi goes to 26 of 23 deliveries. So 50 for the loss of 2 wickets is Revocare Solutions. They want to make a match of this. They need to really get these runs going. So Tisira Wickramasinghe took the catch on the boundary of Jainath. Jainath picks up his first wicket. So 1 more left in the 12th over. So 58 of 67, that's the equation for Revocare Solutions. Right, so a little drinks break for the umpires and for the fielders as well. That is for Revocare Solutions. The new man has walked out. A little a chat, a little huddle going on between George Steuart's health, and there's that scoreboard. We can't take the DLS, it's not valid at the moment, but the total is 50 for 2, no doubt. The last man 26, and the visitors made 107 all out. That's what George Steuart's health made when they batted or put into bat today. First they made that score in 22.4 overs. And as we talk to you, we talk about the light dipping down. It is certainly dipping all the time. There's no sunlight. A few ominous clouds overhead as well. Would we have further rain tonight? Well, we'll have to wait and see. Vishara Fernando, the new man who walks in, 61 matches, has 11 50s to his credit, top score of 90. So no mean batsman is Vishara Fernando. So Jainath again settling on his field. He's happy the way things are. Sweeps. Gets back to ball. But only a single being taken. They're not looking for that second run. They were ball watching, in fact. And that will end the over. So 12 overs completed. And Revocare Solutions are 51 for 2 after 12 overs. That's the last wicket that fell. Good catch taken on the boundary. Pretty pleased with himself. So Danushka is on 20. Vishara Fernando is on 1. Chatur Jayannath 1 for 7 of his 1 over. And for the 57 runs required of 66 deliveries. The innings is 23 overs. There are 12 overs completed. So we got another 11 overs left. Hoping that the light will hold for these 11 overs. So we can have a result in this game. So you got to complete at least 20 overs in this innings of the 23. We have a DLS chart for that. So Rishi Adishtan, the opening batsman, to bowl his first over. Play gently, single being taken. Smart single. The fielder overran the ball, trying to pick it up and throw it to the wicket keeper. That's what really happens. You put pressure on the fielding side. And the batsman was certainly so positive taking that single. Good body language. Going for the cut shot outside the line of off stump. Wide chord outside the line of off stump. That's got to be rebowled by Adishtan. The wides will certainly help the cause of Revocare Solutions. So this game is going to be a battle between these two sides out for honours. Pulled up Ishri on the onside. Fielder is there. Gets his hand straight. Out caught. There we are. So Danushka, the man who goes. Now the good catch taken. Well judged catch, in fact. So Rishi Adishtan picks up his first wicket. And Revocare Solutions lose their third. Danushka, the man who departs at 20. Made a good impression with the bat, but couldn't really make it count anymore. There's a catch being taken. So Danushka Tilakaratne goes to 20. 2 boundaries in that knock. Tisara Vikramasinghe, the fielder, a deep mid wicket.
going on, I said.
53 for 3 after 12.3 overs. And there we are, the required run rate is 5.24. They're going at 4.24 at the moment. Driven past the bowler. Only a single. So 54 required of 62. Rishi Adishtan contributed 30 with the bat for the George Steuart total. Opened the batting this afternoon. So Vishara Fernando on strike. Pulls it up Ishri on the onside. That's a big one that goes all the way. That's 6. That's well struck. Vishara Fernando certainly made full use of that. Got maximum for that. Too short from Adishtan, and that's got the treatment. Look at that. Way over that boundary. 60 for 3, 48 required. Ends the over, 13 completed. And Revocare Solutions, 60 for 3 after 13 overs. Vishara Fernando on 8. Arshan Joseph on 1 and Rishi Adishtan 1 for 9 from his 1 over. And the required run rate is 4.80 from this stage onwards. So there are the worms of the two teams, George Stewart's Health and Revocare Solutions. Perhaps Revocare Solutions have got a head start at the moment. They've got their heads in front of George Stewart's Health. Again lofted. Gone big again. Where has that gone? It's gone for 6. Well, a couple of sixers have changed the complexion of this game completely, as Revocare Solutions have certainly taken a firm grip for this game. We'll look at that. Well struck indeed. Clears that boundary quite comfortably. 66 for 3. Now 42 required of 59 for Revocare Solutions. Chatura Jayanath 1 for 13 of 1.1. Arshan Joseph, he's on 7 of 3 balls. Vishara Fernandez on 8 of 4. Turn towards mid-on, but no chance of a run. The ball traveled quickly over the outfield. 42 required of 57 deliveries, 7 wickets in hand. Down the track, lofts it again on the onside. Down towards a deep mid-wicket. They'll pick up a single for that. So one more to the total. 67 for 3. So Vishara Fernando on strike. He's on 8 of 4 balls. 41 required of 56. Played soft hands. The ball rolls out of the offside. A dot ball. Driven on the offside. Sweeper tide is up. The batsman crossed for 1. That'll end the over. So 14 overs completed. And Revocare Solutions move on to 68 for 3. Arshan Joseph on 8 and Vishara Fernando on 9. Chatura Jayanath 2 overs, 1 for 15. So 40 required of 54 balls with 7 wickets in hand. So there's the equation, 40 or 54. That's what Revocare Solutions need at the moment. The target is 108. They did well to bowl out George Stewart's Health for 107. In 24.4 overs, the game restricted 23 overs per side. Chanul Athakorala to bowl his second over, none for 3 his figures. So the medium pacer will be in operation to Vishara Fernando. And George Stewart's Health, I think they know that the light is dipping. Trying to use the medium pace bowler to try and distract the batsman to have play and miss. Here we have the first ball coming up from Athakorala. Going for the reverse sweep. He got some bat to it. They get a single for it. Yeah, off the bat. So one more run to the total. Well, they have to make do with some of these strokes that's got to be made, because it's not going to be easy to get bat on ball the light the way it is at the moment. Arshan Joseph is on strike zone 8. And Revocare Solutions, they cannot ask for light at the moment. Gets back to ball, but straight towards short extra cover. Not going to be easy for Revocare Solutions. They'll be put under pressure. This game could go down to the wire, as they say. Played gently on the onside for a single. That's the least they can do, at least, to rotate the strike, pick up the singles. Not allow the dot balls to mount up. .38 required of 51. That's the equation for Revocare Solutions. Arthur Korada, none for 5 of 1.3. Nicely played down towards fine leg. Fielder is after it. Will he get there? He won't get there. It's 4. Well, it's all happening here at the Royal College grounds in Colombo. Certainly, Vishara Fernando got some bat to it. And we look at that. Played very nicely on the onside. The fielder was after it, but he had no chance in cutting it off. The ball didn't slow down, even though the outfield is pretty heavy. And now the equation is 34 required of 50. There are 74 for 3. Pulled again down to fine leg. That'll be 4 more. Back-to-back boundaries for Vishara Fernando and for Revocare Solutions. Takes them on to 78 for 3. Another short delivery. Made full use of that and got back to it. 78 for 3. Vishara Fernando moves on to 18 of 9. Joseph is on 9 of 7. Arthur Korala, none for 13 of 1.5. 30 required to win of 49. Down the track, drives on the onside. But this time only a single. The ball picked up by Long On, running in. So that'll end the over. That's 15 overs completed. And Revocare Solutions are 79 for 3. 79 for 3. Arshan Joseph on 9. Vishara Fernando on 19. And Athuko Rale, 2 overs, none for 14. They need 29 to win from 48 balls. And they got 7 wickets in hand. So there's the Revocare Solutions Private Limited scorecard. Vidushan, the first man out, run out for 2. Tilakratna 20, Jayakodi made 26. And now Fernando is on 19 with Joseph on 9. Still a lot of batting to come. 3 extras in the total after 15 overs, 79 for 3. Each inning 23 overs. Janath again. Edge down to short, third man, single being taken. So Revocare Solutions are trying to reduce this deficit by a run at least each ball they can score. Now they need 28 of 47. They are 80 for 3 after 15.1. You know the light is very poor at the moment. There's no doubt about it, and the batsman will have to really concentrate hard to try and get back to ball as well. Pulled up Ashley. Where's that gone? It's gone a long way in the air, but out caught. Well, that's a big wicket. Arshan Joseph is the man out. Going for a big heave on the onside and caught at long on. A good catch again. Well judged. And of course, Revocare Solutions lose their 4th wicket. 80 for 4. We are in the 16th over. And that's the delivery that got that wicket. Hit it hard and high. The fielder made no mistake about it. Running across to his right. Good catch in the end. It's not the easiest catches Drake when the light is not so good. But in the end, it's Arshan Joseph gone for 9. He had 1 6 in that innings. Madhushankar held on to the catch of Jayanath. But they'll put everything into it, Revocare Solutions, to try and get this total as quickly as possible. Not going to be easy. Bishara Fernando, he's there. 20 not out of 11 balls. It's 80 for 4 after 15.2 overs. Could be anybody's game at the moment. 28 required of 46 balls. 6 wickets in hand for Revocare Solutions. And each time a wicket falls, well, George Steuart's health also back in the action. And now, Razin Ramlan, the new man, walks in. Razin Ramlan. He's played 12 matches and an average of 15.60. The highest is 23 runs. Not so much of a batsman is Ramlan, but he'll need to really give his team support. They'll need him to give some support and pick up singles perhaps and allow Bishara Fernando to keep the strike. Here we go. Driven, but the bowler does the fielding on his follow through. So dot ball. Off the back foot, forced away again down the track. The bowler fields on his follow through. Another dot ball. So there's that last wicket. Good catch taken. Look at that. Kept his eyes on the ball. Made no mistake with that. They needed that wicket. Was George Steuart's health. This played on the onside. Looking for the single but can't get it. The ball travelling out towards mid-wicket. So we got 1 ball left in the 16th over. The equation 28 to win for Revocare Solutions. They got 6 wickets in hand. Jayanath, last ball of his 3rd. Goes to the sweep, plays towards short, fine leg, no chance of a run again. The lengthy over. 16 overs completed and Revocare Solutions 80 for 4 after 16. With Ramlan still to score and Bishara Fernando on 20. They need 28 of 42. And Chatur Jayanath 3 overs, 2 for 16, his figures. Right, so the light meter is out with the umpires. Are they offering the light to the batsman? Are they taking it? Let's wait and see what happens. Yes, they're taking the light. So this game will end in a no decision, in fact, at this rate. The players are coming off because the light is really, really bad. There's no doubt about that. The light has been dropping for quite some time at the moment. And there we are. So the batsmen are walking back. The fielding side also coming in. So this game will end in a no decision. That's what I think is on the cards, because we have to take a look at what the rules are for this tournament. The Mercantile Cricket Association D Division 50 Overs League Tournament for 2025. There we are. So the scoreboard all lit up. the Royal College scoreboard, 80 for 4. As the players leave the field, there's no doubt that the light is really, really bad at the moment. And the umpires had no option but offered the light to the batsman, who accepted it. Because if they did not accept it and they lost wickets, they would have kept losing wickets and would have lost the match in the end. But here we are. So this match will end in a no decision. That's what we think it is. Because we're a late start, 23 overs per side. And in the end, I think it was a fair decision if it ends in a no decision, because George Steuart's health were put into bat today by Revocare Solutions. And they bowled them out for 107 in 22.4 overs, setting themselves 108 to win. And having done well with the bat, Revocare, I don't think would have expected to be on the losing side. The umpires having chat with the teams as well. But normally you have bad light and you suspend play, but I don't think you can suspend play here. I think they'll have to call it off because the light is getting worse with each minute that passes. But there's a little chat going on between the players and the umpires as to what really is happening. So all in all, this has been a fairly good contest between these two sides. They gave everything that they had into it. As umpires walk back to the pavilion again, they'll have a word with the match referee as well. And there's no question about the light. It started to dip from quite some time ago. So that's the only decision that you can take, to suspend play for bad light. But it won't be suspended. I don't think they can take the field again, because the light is really not going to improve. There's no sunlight coming through. And this is something that really is a problem. So 80 for 4 in 16 overs. That's the equation for Revocare Solutions. Their target was 108, but they couldn't get there. But they got as far as possible to that target of 80 for 4 in 16 overs. And that's the scorecard. Vidishan made 2. And then the bowling figures. Rodrigo, none for 11, for miss 3. Chamat Chature, none for 5. Madhushankar, none for 10. And Vikramasinghe, none for 15. Athukoral, none for 14. But Janath, 2 for 16. And Adhishan, 1 for 9. The follow wickets, 8, 5, 50, 53 and 80. 3 extras in 16 overs, 80 for 4 was the total for Revocare Solutions Private Limited. Right, that's the skyline of Colombo these days. Even though play has been suspended here, and we don't think there's going to be any further play in this game. Right, so let's take a short break. We'll be back with highlights of the innings.